So last time around, we went for the fourth cache in the notes that we had. It was the Dwarven Outpost. Um, Group walked in, found some kobolds. They led a little ambush on us, and they were fairly quickly dispatched. Uh, Kobolds had a little makeshift uh, barricade set up, which we ended up sending the kobold to blow it up for us. It was very helpful for him. And from there, we went into a larger chamber and ended up finding a couple of magmen and a chest across the large lava stream. It was a fairly straightforward um, adventure as far as trying to find the treasure. Able to find it, trip the trap.
Everybody's favorite creatures that explode.
Because we're, as Shem has said in the past, the best way the fighter finds a trap is to trip it. So we did that and walked away with a little bit of gold.
Yeah, yeah. That was a good week. Actually, last time was pretty profitable, if I remember right.
I enjoyed it.
That
Waiting
was
to
a
get to
lot.
town.
Yeah, heck yeah. All right, so
I wonder if
good.
Dorothy could maybe afford the new beard by the time we're done.
Maybe she could get beard implants or something. I don't know. Or maybe she could get a full facial helm and buy some attachments to hang off of it. Sort of like the fake Jamaican Rasta hat or something like that, you know? With the fake
The real
dreadlocks.
question is, can Shem afford all the drinks that he owes Dorothy?
Wow.
Well, Dorothy ought to stop sticking her face in front of acid. It would be all right.
Yeah.
So you guys are on to the fifth cache. And you guys know that the fifth cache is at the tallest of all of the mountains in the Grey Peaks. And, you know, one contact told Verada Store that this was an old abandoned shrine that was once revered by the giants. Then the dragons took it from the giants, and the dragons started to use the area as a perch. And supposedly the treasure cache is going to be hidden inside of the shrine. And then someone also told her, one of her informants, occasionally when the wind would blow, you'd hear a loud bell kind of ring off into the distance. So you guys are on your way to the fifth and final cache, and one of you guys go ahead and do a D20 in the tower. Random encounter time. Oh, nothing happens. You guys make it all the way to the fifth location. Now you guys travel, I mean, you guys are making your way up these paths, and, you know, if you have climbing gear, great. If not, you know, you're struggling a little bit. But
is it possible to equip with like some winter clothes or something?
it's a little chilly up there, so I would think you guys have at least maybe a throw cloak or something like that would kind of break the wind from you a little bit. But you guys make it to you wind your way up the mountains and all this good stuff. Beautiful, lots of clouds. I mean, you're actually kind of traveling through the clouds at some points. And you make it to the highest peak. And, your travels led you up here. And then all of a sudden, you start to go in a very, very long, straight and narrow path. And about halfway up this path, it is like a wall of, mist. But it's a cloud, because you can see it extends over the side of the mountain as you look down the narrow path to your right, and it looks like it's at least hundreds and hundreds of feet to the next level of mountain that's jutting up. So you guys are moving up this this path, and on the and on your left is the solid wall of the mountain. And it's starting to get a little bit chilly up here. When you guys are breathing and stuff, it's getting a little bit harder to breathe because you are thousands of feet up into the air. And on the left-hand side, there are some symbols that are kind of etched into the stone.
Take a look at them?
Yep, I will post that in just a second. All right, now when you're looking at these symbols, they look like this, and they're all in the chat.
Possible to knowledge arcana that.
And if anybody can read giant, you'll be able to understand this. If you don't read giant, then you won't be able to understand it. Hopefully, if the filter's working right.
Yeah, it looks like a bunch of scribbling to me.
Yep, me too.
It's not Dwarvish, I'll tell you that much.
It is definitely not Dwarvish. Torch, welcome.
Does it look like a greeting or a warning?
Well, like it says, they form mantras, pretty much, just talking about virtues of knowledge, magic, intelligence, meditation, and understanding, and it talks about the ancient temple beyond. And let me give you guys a new map. Alright, here is the map. You guys can work on your token. Kel is going to be all the way over on the left hand side. So you guys can kind of place your tokens wherever you'd like. And this is, like I said, on the right hand side, hundreds of foot. That is a drop. And that's on the right hand side.
Where is the text per se on the wall there?
All along this wall here, where the
Okay.
green line is.
I don't know giant. Is it possible to detect some pattern?
So does anyone know giant here?
I don't think anyone here does.
So who could understand that? Who was reading? Somebody was reading it, right?
Someone's doing an arcana check on it.
Yeah, I was trying to do some kind of check, see if it's a warning or at least anything hidden in the glyphs besides the obvious, either stay away or come meet us.
That was weird. Somebody was reading it word for word. If you want to give me a religion check, there are a couple of religious symbols etched into the side of the mountain as well. I mean, you can do an arcana check, but it really doesn't, none of this stuff would be, none of it's arcana related.
Okay, I'll do a religious check. Map's in the way.
Alright, so,
Go
ahead.
What do you think there, Valen? You seem to be concentrating hard.
I was trying to read this, see if I recognize anything.
Well, both Shem and Valen, you guys can put together both of your roles, and you can tell these symbols are related with Anam, the leader of the giant god pantheon, and the creator of the giant ordning.
Oh, wow.
Basically, the giant that everyone worships, the head honcho, the big cheese, the head honcho.
And this is a giant god.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I turn to the group and say, is it possible we're heading towards the temple? Would the temple be abandoned?
Supposedly it was abandoned long ago, and the dragons took over.
Yeah, I'd say about a year and a half, 2 years ago when the dragons took over.
I mean, they said the Dwarven outpost was abandoned, but that was wrong.
Can we do a
Just
history check?
Sure. What would you like with the history check? What entails with this history check?
Any knowledge about this temple when it was last used?
Yep, according to Verada Store's notes, it's been quite a while. But with your history check, I will tell you this information, though. And I guess you could probably relay this onto the group. This is to deal with the ordning. And the ordning is what the giants live and die by, basically. You know, this is basically the pecking order of the giants. And you know that the one giant that rules all is King Hecadin. And you know that King Hecadin is a storm giant, right?
Yep.
Now the ordning is sort of like it's a caste system for the giants. And on the very top of the pecking order are the storm giants, of course, with King Hecadin. You know, and his wife's name is Queen Neri. He's got 3 daughters, Mirren, Nim, and Sarissa. And the storm giants, they control all of the other lesser giants. And anything lower than them are lesser giants. Now, under the storm giants are the cloud giants. And they're basically the next powerful giants. And the cloud giants, they're really neutral. They like to stay out of everything. And the Sunday game, speaking out of character here, they met Zephyroths. He is a cloud giant. He's very neutral. Now, under the cloud giants are the fire giants. You know, they're merciless, they're killers, they're warmongers, and they have tremendous forging skills. Under the fire giants are the frost giants. They're also merciless, but they're more predatory. And they have probably the best tactical fighting skills of all of the giants, but they're just not the most powerful. And then you have the lesser giants under them, which are the stone giants. They like to live underground mostly. They're very xenophobic. They're they're great masoners. I mean, they craft beautiful stone sculptors, and probably the dwarves stole everything from them because the giants were around first. Anyways, the hill giants. They're under the. I'm trying to start some crap with the dwarves in the party.
Keep our eyes perked. You said cloud giant, so just in case, watch out for any kind of other giants around.
Yeah. Under the stone giants are the gluttonous hill giants. You know, they're very dull and they're loathsome, and they basically are at the bottom of the pecking order, and they fear all the other giants. So, and that's what Anam, the All-Father, he keeps this caste system in order. And, like I said, King Hecadin, he's the one that enforces it and makes sure that, Anam, the All-Father, is always appeased. So that's what your history check reveals.
All right, so as I'm looking at the wall, I can't make out anything with the exception of I point to a symbol recognizable as a nom and say,
That is correct.
I can make that out and I can see that, but perhaps this shrine, as it was revered by the giants, according to Barada's notes, perhaps this was a shrine for a nom.
And that being a shrine, then, and things that are abandoned aren't abandoned. Maybe high alert for a cloud giant or something up here in the clouds.
Possibly.
Watch the hills, or I guess the mountaintop. Something, maybe drop the rock on top of us, or a snow slide, or some kind of. Is there snow about?
There's a little bit up the side of the mountain, sure. You guys are towards the peak anyway, and it's getting a little bit tougher to breathe up here. It's getting a little frigidy. So yeah, there's snow accumulating on the side of the mountain, sure.
Still a question, is it daytime?
It is daytime, yep. There are...
So we could see if it was going to show up.
Yep, what's in front of you is this cloud, basically. And that is what is impeding your sight in front of you.
Like a thick fog?
It's like a big old wall of cotton. Looks like you just want to jump right on top of it and go to sleep.
Uh-huh.
All right, so seeing as we don't have a ranger to scout ahead and set off all the traps for us, who wants to volunteer? Should we take this slowly, march in formation, or send a scout?
Maybe stay against the wall as we go forward, just to hold on in case it lets out the ground underneath us.
That sounds like a good idea.
Fair enough.
Alan touches the wall of the mountain, says it's stone, so we just send a dwarf through.
I love it.
Dorothy, your
Hey,
beard
dwarf.
is a catch for all hazards. Walk in front with that beard.
Yeah. You owe me so many drinks.
I'm gonna make a snowball, cast light on it, and throw it into the cloud.
Wicked idea.
Still, the cloud is so thick, you lose the snowball. Just
Do
kinda
not eat the
disappears.
yellow snow.
No.
I
Oh
drop a
wait, I
handful
thought that
of
was
it.
always that wasn't lemon flavored when I was a kid.
No, it's not lemon.
Oh,
I thought
no.
someone was making ices.
I thought that was a Zappa song.
Zappa.
All right, so you
Great
guys start to
Dwarf indeed.
Yeah, I think we're going to start marching forward.
Yeah, so as you guys start
Slowly.
marching into the cloud, you guys can see. I mean, it's just really thick, and it's really damp air, and it's like I said, the air's getting thinner up here. You're getting a little cold. You're passing through this layer of clouds, and after about another
High alert. High alert.
25 to 30 feet or so, all of a sudden you emerge from this cloud. And here, let me clear some more for you. Alright, so at the end of all of this, you emerge and it looks like you're actually standing on the top of a cloud. You're literally looking down at the cloud. And you're just looking out at this endless expanse of white that's all around you. Now, ahead of you on this path, you can see that there is an opening on the left-hand side of you, which is the actual wall of the mountain. And up ahead, there appears to be some weird-looking item that is on like a pedestal or like a raised dais, and it kind of looks like a bell from up here.
Well, that makes sense. Verana's notes mention if the wind is blowing correctly, the sounds of a bell.
Before we investigate any further, should Shem and I get rid of our wounds from last time?
I hope that we took a long rest between then and now.
All right.
Turns out we did.
Yeah, so this is what you guys see. You guys see an opening on the left-hand side, and about 60 feet in front of you, you see a bell. Yeah, you would have.
I'd
had
like to
a
do
rest.
an investigation to see if there's any footprints or anything within the stone, say in front of us, towards us and the bell.
Sure, and that and the opening is right here also. So you can see kind of where the wall disappears, and you can look inside. It's dark inside of the tunnel on your left-hand side. It's definitely dark. Doesn't seem to have any light or anything like that. No type of illumination. I mean, there's a
Where's
little
the
bit
snowball
there
with
at
the light in it? Where's that snowball with light?
Oh, it broke apart.
Very
Just
good.
kind of shattered. But I mean, there's plenty of other debris around where you can cast another one and, throw it inside.
Yeah, why not? I'll do that. I'll repeat that.
We're also on a mountain, so there might be rocks in that snow you can cast light on too that won't fall apart.
I'll toss another snow light ball down there.
As he's
And-
doing that, I'm going to investigate the ground between here and the bell and walk up to the bell to investigate it.
Okay. So as you are walking closer to the bell, Shem, you notice it's actually a beautiful brass bell. And resting next to the bells is a mallet that's kind of leaned up against it. And this bell has
Is that a door knock?
etchings. A door knock?
Well, it
There's
sounds like it was a
another
bell
one.
to bring the giants down
The
top of us.
doorbell, now what then?
It's got a mallet to ring the bell, yeah. Door knock, bell ringer, whatever you want to call it, yeah.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-long.
On this bell are a bunch of things that are etched, and these. And as you kind of look closer, you're like, this is actually written in common. And what is written in common? It says, "What doubles when you share it is unseen but gives power, and is useless unless practiced." And I'll put that in the chat.
Excellent.
It says, "What doubles when you share it is unseen but gives power, and is useless unless practiced." Everybody's going to Google right now. Everybody's going to
No,
Google.
my first guess was knowledge.
All right. Is that what you said out loud?
Yeah.
All right. So as you say knowledge, nothing happens. But I mean, do you do anything else when you say? I mean, you're kind of far back, so.
Something practice sounds like wizardry, Sounds like a spell or something.
So this is the text that we see in common on the mallet, right?
Oh, it's on the mallet. I thought it was said to him.
It's on the bell.
On the-
I'm near whoever's holding that bell thingy, the mallet.
My guess, as I get closer to see all this, is that you're gonna have to ring the bell and say the word at the same time.
Might work out for you.
Well, gravel toes, you want to take a swing at this thing or what?
How big's the mallet? I'm only like 3 foot tall.
Yeah, I
You can pick
was,
it up.
I was giving you a hard time for being a short stack.
The mallet's as big as you, but you're strong enough to pick it up and give the bell a good whack if you'd like.
Alright, I'll pick it up.
All right.
Smack the bell and say knowledge at the same time.
Okay, you gong it, and as you hit the bell and you say knowledge, all of a sudden you start to hear some type of static, and you kind of look over at the entrance to where the mouth of the temple is, or the mouth on the side of the mountain, and this thing kind of has a blue shimmering look to it, and then it just kind of disappears.
I'm gonna go check that out.
Casting like in light or something, or is it?
Well, yeah, it sounded like something. It sounded like an electrical surge, like a zzz, zzz,
Might fry you if you go through it.
cackling and crack. Yeah, and then it just disappears.
That sounds like a job for a magic user.
You get fried. Yes, that sounds good.
But the wall is not there anymore. I mean, you couldn't see the wall anywhere. There it wasn't there anyway. So, luckily, one of you didn't walk through. You would have found out. But you basically, what it did is you deactivated it by saying knowledge and ringing the bell.
That's right. Cool.
So you shut it down. Excellent.
Yeah. Yep.
We throw a pebble through there just in case, see what happens.
What say you, adventurers?
Maybe throw a pebble through through the opening.
I take out one of my ball bearings, cast light on it, and roll it down inside there.
Sure. You cast light, roll it on in, it rolls right in. Nothing impedes it at all.
What about the rock? Nothing happened as well. Further in.
Yep, nothing.
Excellent. Thanks.
Let's push forward then. unless Caleth, did you suspect?
Can we
further
see
magic?
further in?
Nah, nothing wrong with this. Let's go.
All right.
The light has a 20-foot radius.
All right.
If I
Sounds
roll it-
good. So just as you guys are throwing the rocks in,
Move in, I'm tucking my beard in my armor and taking out my sword.
all right, so as everybody's pulling their weapons, walking in, all of a sudden you start to hear screeches from behind, screeches and wails from behind, and
I told you.
You turn, and there are 4 massive-sized owls that are flying in towards you, and their talons are extended out, their beaks are open, they're staring everyone down. So you guys were totally surprised by this. You weren't expecting it at all. And as you guys hear these screeching, and as you look, and they're basically flying out of the clouds over the edge of the path that you're on. So we will go ahead and give the owls a surprise attack round, and then after that we will go ahead and roll initiative. And these things are flying by. I mean, these things are huge. These things have a 10-foot wingspan. So this first owl is moving in and is swooping by and attacking Malachi. And it reaches out with its talons, slashes, and misses with a 17. And then it flies right on past. Now these things are so graceful, Malachi, that you're not even able to get an attack of opportunity because these things are so graceful. Alright, so the next the next owl, same thing, attacks Malachi. It's pick on Malachi night tonight. And Malachi misses. He misses Malachi.
What are those rushes of air going by me?
Yeah.
Got it.
All right, the next owl, 10, 15, attacks Valen and hits with a 20. Oh wow, these talons actually.
No, not a 20.
You get hit for a total of 8 damage as this thing kind of flies by and ends up about right here. Now the last one, this thing flies, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, comes into where Dorothy is and slashes at Dorothy. Goes right for the beard and misses. And this thing flies
the beard.
off. Alright. So these things have gotten attacks. One person's been hit. Now go ahead and roll initiative.
I yelled at the group, run to the caves, we should be protected. The caves, they'll protect us.
Not too bad of initiative rolls.
I've done much worse in the past.
Alright, so it looks like we have, wow. One of the giants gets, the giant owls get to go again. So this thing's gonna swoop back around. $15, $20, $25, 25 foot mark. Wow. Wow. Sorry about that. Valen hits you again for a total of 6. You go down.
Hey, it's a
Holy
game.
shit. Sorry about that, Valen. Alright, so and then this thing kind of flies off over the ledge. Of course, Dave. Kelleth, you're up now.
Sounds like I could run to the fallen player and pull them into the cave quick as I can. Use my action.